With MSF, you get this opportunity to work in some incredible places that you wouldn't normally get to see, let alone work and live in. On one of my first projects, it was when I was on the Syria border, and one of my first nights, I was kept up all night with noise, and I remember speaking with my team members, and I said, "God, did you hear that thunder last night?" And they all looked at me with a wry smile and said, "It wasn't thunder, Elma, it was bombs and explosions." I've just come back from my 4th assignment working with MSF in Yemen. We have a bell in our emergency room, so if it sounds like there's going to be more than 4 casualties at one time, they'll sound a bell. So normally when you hear the bell, you know something's coming. Doing anaesthetics in these trauma settings is definitely very challenging. I think largely because you're dealing with patients that are coming in the emergency room unstable, and you start resuscitation in the emergency room, but then our role is to then get them through theatre. So it's a real course of treatment that really starts in the emergency room but doesn't stop until they're well enough to go home. You work with such incredible people and you meet some wonderful, inspiring colleagues, and for sure that's one of the best bits about returning to a project, getting to see friends and what feels like family again. Yemeni staff are a constant source of motivation and inspiration for me. You know, you work alongside people and they become your friends, but really what they go through to come to work and be real effective members of the team, and to be driven and skilled and motivated and want to develop as professionals themselves. And then at the end of the day to have to go back and live in the war zone. And I remember one of our OT nurses in Aden, a real graceful woman, you know, she's really kind, really, you know, softly spoken. And I remember just talking to one of my other OT staff who said, "Oh, well, you know, Afa lost her boy. You know, her boy, 5 years old, was playing outside and was shot by a sniper in the head." And that just happened, you know, less than a year ago. And you just think, oh, you know, what they have to deal with, and yet how they cope and how they just carry on going is just incredible. There's huge amounts of challenges working in Yemen in conflict zones, but the reason why I keep doing it is because there's always far more reward than the challenges. I think for sure I've learnt huge amounts of about myself, about the person I want to be, had huge amounts of inspiration from other people. It makes me proud to be able to work with an organisation that works so effectively and works so much on the ground in so many different places, and I can say really does save lives. And that's quite something to feel like you can be a part of that.